Welcome to Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. Legal issues simplified through real client stories and real-world experiences. Creating simplicity in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to another episode of Legal 123s with ByrdAdatto. I'm your host, ByrdAdatto, my co-host, Michael Byrd.
Thanks, Bradford. As a business and healthcare law firm, we are sometimes triggered by certain buzzwords our clients will say in conversation. We know there's a potential disaster when we hear these words, and we're immediately on high alert. This season's theme is red flags.
Now, Michael, because we have red flags this season, I thought we could discuss some tragic moments in history where red flags were completely ignored.
So, Brad, and usually that means you're going to talk about the Saints and some woes, whether it be your favorite, which would be the NFC Saints game versus the Rams. But you probably today would bring up the fact that the Cowboys beat the Saints last night. And there was a couple of penalties that I'm sure didn't feel good.
Well, that and 4 interceptions didn't help either. Yes, both were tragic moments in history. And as we all know, the Saints, had they called the pass interference, would have gone on to the Super Bowl and clearly won. So that's how I feel about ignoring red flags.
And I will say, Brad, I think everyone in America agreed the Saints got screwed, including me, and we need to move on. And I know, so you are a history major in college, but you said you wanted to cover, you alluded to multiple tragic moments, maybe not multiple.
Not multiple. Okay. I won't cover everything in history that was tragic. We can cover one of the most well-known tragic moment of all time. And, of course, our audience is like screaming it out, the sinking of the Titanic. As most people know, the RMS Titanic, a luxury steamship, sank in the early hours of April 15, 1912, off the coast of Newfoundland in the North Atlantic Sea after swiping an iceberg on its maiden voyage where, unfortunately, 1,500 people about died.
So if there's anything our audience is going to learn is that we repeat ourselves, and particularly Brad.
Yes.
Brad's famous for that. And anyone that listened to the dumpster fire season, of course, the Titanic came up again. Brad alleges that he never saw the movie, but I don't buy it.
I saw the making of the HBO series, so that's all I really need to know. It's pretty cool how they made it. But that's irrelevant. Again, today's topic, and I'm not going to cover what we talked about last time in our dumpster fire season. But what's fascinating about the Titanic was, again, the Shipbuilder magazine, which, by the way, I think is pretty funny that the Shipbuilder magazine, but they said that the ship practically was unsinkable. So, the magazine writers knew all about it because of the state-of-art double-bottom and 15 watertight bulkhead compartments that had these electric watertight doors that could be opened individually or sealed individually or from the bridge simultaneously.
Well, Brad, since you didn't see the movie, you may not know this, but the ship sank.
Now I'm not going to see it.
So I'm assuming the watertight doors failed.
Actually, the funny part is they actually worked, which is crazy, right? The watertight compartment is designed to had a design flaw, and that's the problem, is that it didn't. The critical reason why it sank is they had these bulkheads that were indeed watertight. The walls separating the bulkheads extended only a few feet above the water line, so water could pour in from one component to another, and this is really which led to the downfall of the Titanic. Thus, a complete design flaw, which apparently was, when they look back at it, was known from day one. And so the most tragic, and then second to this, was the fact that they didn't have enough lifeboats. The ship could hold more than 3,000 people with passengers and crew, and it only could accommodate a little over 1,000 people in the lifeboats. So 2 major design flaws caused that, otherwise the story would have been not as famous. There would have been about a ship that hit an iceberg and kept moving forward, or a ship that hit an iceberg and sank and everyone got off from the lifeboats. Neither thing happened because these red flags were ignored and tragedy struck.
And Leo died.
Oh no! What?
Yes. Yeah. If that hadn't happened, Leo could have survived, and he and Kate could have
been on top of the world.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, Brad.
I'm a movie buff. That doesn't mean I know what he did.
And that girlfriend from Niagara Falls. Yeah.
That was your girlfriend.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Well, before we get started, anyone that's watching our videos probably noticed another human in the camera, and that's our You can't call him a guest, our regular and partner, Jay Reyero. Welcome.
Thanks, guys. Good to be actually in the studio this time, and I'm excited for this red flags. Michael told me that all I had to do is come on here and say "ding" every time Brad talks, so I'm excited. Let's get started.
Perfect.
Well,
Ding,
this
should
be
ding,
fun.
Ding.
ding, ding.
Still paying you back for episode 1, Brad. So, but okay, we will move on now.
Okay, I'm glad. Anyway, today's episode involves a family business.
Ding.
Hey Jay, you got this pretty quickly. What red flag did you spot?
Well, we all heard, never do business with family. We talked about a couple seasons ago, my first professional job selling cell phones, and one summer we actually, I had my younger brother come and work with me, and let's just say he quit after a week, so it did not go well.
Well, in our client's case, this family dynamic was the core problem. But it wasn't really the core problem. It's just part of the story. It was a long-running, multi-million-dollar business selling boats that had been in the family for multiple generations. And they were either working there or they owned it, and they're very proud of their legacy.
So why did we become involved?
Well, funny, we got involved because they were looking for new general counsel. And so they brought us in. In the beginning, we were just trying to understand what we typically do is just understand their corporate structure. So Jay and I we had multiple meetings with them, and we kept trying to understand their corporate structure as they explained to it. And it never really became quite clear to us.
Ding. I was trying